Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And the biggest fish of trade deadline day and of the trade deadline market the past week or so, when we made clear that he was going to be available, is now off the market with Mikko Rantanen getting traded to the Dallas Stars. It was a crazy 12-hour saga. We got the alerts at 1 a.m. last night that they were working on something. Then the contract negotiations seemed like so far apart. But now this deal is apparently fully going through. All the insiders are saying that it's happening. And here's the details from Frank Saravalli to Dallas. Mikko Rantanen with an 8-year extension in place that is expected to be only $12 million AAV. And to the Carolina Hurricanes, Logan Stankoven, who was obviously rumored all the way through, and 2 first-round picks plus some smaller pieces. Just a crazy trade. Crazy that Mikko Rantanen, if you told someone 2 months ago that he'd get traded twice at the trade deadline or trade deadline period, you'd say that they're absolutely out of their mind. But yeah, Carolina could not get some kind of deal done with Mikko Rantanen, whether that's he didn't think that the team could contend at a high level, didn't like the market, didn't like the price. Apparently, they offered him a 9-figure deal, which means 8 years, $12.5 million. So clearly, he wanted to be somewhere else than Carolina. Dallas is one of the best markets to play in, given how good the team is, how good the team's going to be over those 8 years, on top of the no state income tax. And yeah, he is a Dallas Star now. Let's break it down from the Dallas perspective. Mikko Rantanen, even though he played maybe the worst 12 games of his career or of his prime with the Carolina Hurricanes, only 6 points. I think it was actually 13 games as he played last night. I got these stats last night. Yeah, legit superstar. I'm not deterred by this Carolina stretch. Maybe not going to be a consistent 105-point guy because he doesn't have McKinnon anymore, but he's a true top 20 player in the NHL. His points per game in the playoffs is like 8th all time. He's insane. He is that 6'3" moose, as they call him, the perfect blend of both size, skill, and shooting ability. One-time 55 goal scorer, multiple-time 40 goal scorer. He immediately becomes the Dallas Stars' best forward, and the Dallas Stars' overall top 9 is going to be arguably the best we've ever seen in the salary cap era. It's between them and the 2022 Colorado Avalanche. They're going to be taking out Maverick Bourque and Dodonov and hopefully getting Tyler Seguin back, as well as Mikko Rantanen playing on that top line. I'd expect him to play with Roope Hintz, the goddamn Dallas Stars Finns. It's crazy. But yeah, look, dude, their third line is probably going to be Jamie Benn, Wyatt Johnston, Tyler Seguin, or Mikael Granlund. Their third line, that would be some teams' first line. Obviously, we're talking like San Jose or Chicago, but this team is so deep, and now they do have that true superstar in Mikko Rantanen. They had stars. I like Jason Robertson a lot. Wyatt Johnson is fully emerging, but they maybe lacked having that top 15 forward in the NHL, and Mikko Rantanen is going to be exactly that. And on top of the fact that they could get him to sign on an 8-year deal at $12 million, you thought after Colorado signed him, the price he wanted was $13.5 million. But $12 million is a damn good deal. Even if he's just a consistent 90, 95, 100-point guy, let's say he doesn't get back to 55 goals, 50 assists with Nathan McKinnon, I'm perfectly fine with giving this guy $12 million per for what he overall brings to the table. He's 28 years old. Yes, maybe towards the end of that deal, it won't be that pretty, but Dallas's time is now. It is. They also have a very bright future as well, and giving up Stankoven doesn't really hurt that long-term vision too much. But yeah, this is a damn good deal, especially when you look at what other guys like William Nylander and Elias Pettersson got. 8 years, 11.5, 11.6. Pettersson's obviously a different case. He's just fallen off completely. But yeah, I expected Mikko Rantanen, when he got traded, to sign some big extension in line with like an AAV cap hit of Austin Matthews at 13.25. Clearly, the no state income tax played somewhat of a factor here. This in Colorado would be like an 8-year deal at 12.5, 12.6. It's not as big as people make it out to seem. I continue to reiterate this. They still pay federal tax, and they only pay the no state income tax when they're playing games that are taking place in states with no state income tax. So half of their games, or I guess 45, because they play in Florida, in Vegas, some of that. 60% of their games, at least, or 60% of their games are no state income tax. The rest, they're getting taxed on. But yeah, this is a very good extension on top of, obviously, Dallas being the team to beat this season. No doubt. Upgrading from Stankoven to Rantanen is huge. On top of them already getting Granlund. Seguin coming back is the difference between them being like the clear favorite and them just being like the favorite, if that makes sense. Because Seguin in December had a 4 to 6 month injury. At best, he's going to come back for the final games of the regular season. At worst, he might not be back till the Western Conference Finals, Stanley Cup Finals. But if you're Dallas, you go for it. And although you really like Stan Koven, you didn't trade Wyatt Johnson, you didn't trade Thomas Harley, Robertson and Heiskanen are still 25 years old. Your window is still wide open. This is an extremely aggressive move, but I think we can agree Dallas's first-round picks, if there's anybody's first-round picks that I wouldn't want in 2026, 2027, because I know they're going to be very good, it would probably be the Dallas Stars. They've consistently been a wagon in the regular season, consistently have made back-to-back Western Conference Finals, so you don't really miss those picks that much. And they still have Bichelle. They still have Bork that's very young. Emil Hemming in the pipeline. Not saying that they have some kind of top 15 prospect pool in the NHL, but they still have a solid prospect pool to bring up guys. And Dallas is just such a well-run organization that I trust them to find people in the sec. They found Logan Stankoven 47th overall. It's like they could do that again. Now, when looking at it from a Carolina perspective, okay, Dallas, A. They gave up a lot, so you can't go A+. And I know if they win a Stanley Cup, it's an A+ deal. But they gave up 2 first-round picks in Logan Stankoven. Let's not act like they got him for peanuts. But, yeah, for Carolina, I don't know, man. This return definitely softens the blow, but I still don't like the idea of a team that has been so highly competitive since 2019 not selling on the season because, again, I think they're going to trade one of these picks for a kind of rental like a Brock Besser. But it is very deflating to go from aggressively going all in. And at the time, everybody thought that the Carolina Hurricanes fleeced the Colorado Avalanche. I didn't think that. I thought Natchez is a pretty damn good player, signed next year at 6.5 as well. But yeah, to go from that high of like, holy shit, we're going for it. Tulsky believes in this group, to selling pretty heavily. I like Logan Stankoven a decent amount. He has been pretty cold of late. He has 15 points in his last 43 games. I think he's eventually going to be a very, very good top 6 forward, and the underlying numbers also are pretty strong on Logan Stankoven. He just can't finish to save his life. He's shooting 6%. This guy's a beast off the rush, and he's only 5'7", but he plays like he's 6'3". He is a dog. He's just an absolute dog, and I think he's going to be a really good guy. And when you look at his goal numbers at other levels, he can put the puck in the back of the net. I don't think he's going to shoot 6% for the rest of his career. But yeah, it is a little bit underwhelming to go for Mikko Rantanen. You thought Mikko Rantanen might be there long-term, another team that just houses Finnish players, but apparently Rantanen didn't want to stay. Yeah, it's a fine return, but when you're a team like Carolina that has been a high-level contender since 2020, 2021, it sucks. It sucks to give up Natchez and then eventually give up Rantanen. Natchez, who has been very good in Colorado and still has another year at 6.5. I wonder if you gave Eric Tulsky a button to say never trade for Rantanen, would he press that? I guess it depends on what he flips these picks for. Brock Besser, bring in Brock Besser for a playoff run. You can sell me on Besser, Rantanen difference. Rantanen's obviously a far better player, but having Besser and Stankoven in a first-round pick versus Rantanen versus Natchez in a second-round pick and Jackson Blake, you can maybe sell me on that, but I can't really be too bullish on this for a Carolina perspective, if that makes sense. I think I'd go with a B for this return, maybe a B+ for the Carolina Hurricanes. At this point, you look at Carolina's forward core, you plug in Stankoven for Mikko Rantanen, let's say they move up Svechnikov. This is not anything close to a contending Stanley Cup contending forward core, man. It's pretty underwhelming. Maybe I don't think that they're dealing with any injuries. I could be wrong, but yeah, this forward core is not it. This was the weird thing is I never thought that this was going to be their year, so I always thought it was a little bit weird when they really went for it by going for Mikko Rantanen. Long-term vision, this could play out great. Maybe Rantanen never finds his game like he was in Colorado, in Dallas. I don't think that contract's going to be a disaster. And Stankoven turns into an elite first liner, and we think, damn, why did Dallas give up on that Stankoven, Johnston, Harley, young core? Well, again, Robertson and Heiskanen aren't much older, and Ottinger as well. But yeah, it could age well for Carolina, but in the intermediate, when we're talking about a contender, it's underwhelming. It's definitely underwhelming. But let me know in the comments. What do you think about this? What would you give these two teams? Do you think Carolina, by the time you're watching this, Carolina might have already traded for someone? And do you think Dallas is the team to beat? Do you think Carolina has a chance coming out of the Eastern Conference, especially after the moves that Florida and Tampa Bay made? Toronto also got Scott Laughton. I'll do a full either breaking down grading every single video today, or I'll do some kind of overall deadline grades. I think we're going to record the podcast at 5 p.m. today, immediately after once Babiak gets off work. So yeah, there's still some names on the trade, from 12:45 to 1 p.m. Everything went down. But yeah, let me know, what do you think about this? And I'll be seeing the next one. Peace.